Hello there, my name is Lou Wieland, and for the last 30 years, I've published the official relocation guide on Atlanta, distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service, which is the fourth largest multiple listing service in the United States. They now have partnerships with multiple listing services in many, many cities, coast to coast. And therefore, if you're an agent and you get on the multiple listing service website, you can see listings in Los Angeles, Denver, Florida, you name it almost. Anyway, the magazines that I publish are distributed on their behalf, and they're in all the brokerage firms. And the website contains information about Atlanta, including the latest stats for sales and prices. I try to put that up there every month, and the current website I get them as soon as the FMLS publishes them. So the latest figures are for April that they published, so they're on that site, AtlantaCommunityProfiles.com, along with the magazines. And I'm also a commercial realtor with Chapman Hall. If I can help you with any of your real estate needs, please let me know, lou@louwieland.com. And I can help you with residential, but my main area of business is multifamily and land and leasing. And every now and then we interview community leaders just to keep you posted on what's happening in some of the more interesting communities throughout the city. And these will be sent out to you if you're an agent via email, and they will be on my website and also on all the social media. If you would like to link to my Facebook page or LinkedIn, it's Louis Wieland. And anyway, so every now and then I said we interview community leaders, and today we're focusing on the great city of Smyrna, and our guest is Andrea Worthy, Director of Economic Development over there, and she was on, I think, about a year or a year and a half ago. And welcome back, Andrea. It's nice to have you come in and give us an update on the great city of Smyrna.
Absolutely, Lou. Happy to be here.
The city is very interesting. And by the way, I forgot to mention that just the figures for the year to date for sales of single-family detached is, let's see, the average price in April was $527,000, which was up 2% year over year. The average price of a single-family home in Smyrna in April was $541,836. So, anyway, sales volume is unchanged year over year, and prices are up 2% year over year. So, an interesting dynamic. Anyway, with focusing on Smyrna today, so I don't know how much everybody knows about Smyrna, but it's really changed a lot over the last 10 years. The population is just under 60,000. It's just a 15-minute drive from downtown, or 10 miles, and otherwise known as the Jonquil City because of the flowers and the garden, etc. And today we're going to talk about some of the interesting aspects of the city, including, hopefully, if Andrea is so inclined, we'll ask her to profile some of the communities and the Market Village, which is a beautiful downtown complex. And I'm sure it has attracted a lot of people to live there and move their businesses there. But, Andrea, before you came to Smyrna, you had the same job over in Sandy Springs.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention that earlier in your intro, but how would you, instead of me characterizing this city, now, how long have you been in Smyrna? About 6 years?
Yes. Been back here about 6 years. Yep, that's right.
How would you when somebody asks you what is your elevator pitch for Smyrna, what would you say?
Well, some of what you said, I mean, it's really a place of connection in terms of being close to everything. I mean, we've got a Major League Baseball on our front porch steps. And, we are also at the doorway of the Silver Comet Trail, which is, approximately 61-mile trail that runs through Georgia and to Alabama. You can get to downtown pretty closely. So it's just really kind of minutes away from everything, but it's also kind of miles away in its own small town charm. We're very close to urban, but we have a very suburban feel as well.
Well, the city is really kind of taken on a whole new dynamic with the Braves being over there, and then your city hall. And how would you describe Market Village, which is kind of a centerpiece, I would think, maybe you'd call it, for the city?
Absolutely. So yeah, we are right here at the Battery, but frankly, long before the Battery and the baseball stadium were here, Market Village was one of the first mixed use developments in the metro area. Since then, many communities have embraced mixed use. And frankly, Market Village at this point is going on about 30 years. And the city has recently spent some money and has some plans to reinvest in downtown. Just over the past couple of years, we've done some changes. We've removed a roundabout and turned into a very large village green where we're hosting a lot of events, including right now during the World Cup. The Parks and Recreation is hosting what we call Cup Days. And it's a official FIFA licensed watch party zone. We're showing every match out there, so you can come out there and join. But yeah, the city's invested in that type of green space. We've had some other private investments. Stillfire Brewery just opened this year downtown, so that's really changed the walkability, hangout, community gathering space dynamic. And then the city purchased recently some acreage from the First Baptist Church. The First Baptist Church is going to be relocating to a different location just a little further south on Atlanta Road. And so in the next couple of years, we're going to have an opportunity to redevelop all of that acreage in our downtown. We spent all of last year talking to our community about what they wanted to see. We had about 17,000 pieces or voices that spoke to us in that process. And what they told us they want to see is a mixed use development with a combination of housing, walkability, new restaurants and retail. And so later this year, we're going to be going out for requests for qualifications for qualified developers to actually help us make that dream come true.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
It's very exciting.
Do you have a selection of builders now that you plan to work with, or are you accepting bids, or how's that working?
Yes, so not yet. So how that process will work is we will put out an official procurement request for qualifications for qualified developers. Now, I've had a lot of interests. We've probably met with 60 different developers so far, but this will be the official process where they'll be able to apply and say that they're qualified, that they have the financial wherewithal to get this type of project done. Then from that, we will shortlist a group of qualified developers, and we will ask them to actually propose what they would actually propose for our site. Of course, based on what the community wanted to see there. We think that is a financially feasible product, and so we're looking forward to seeing what specifics those developers might propose. That'll probably take place later this year.
Now, the average price of a detached home in Smyrna is $541,836 in April. I'm sure it doesn't change much month to month. Does that have anything to do with what the bids that you send out to builders will be as a walking point or talking point?
A good question. The site is not that large, so in order to get the types of density we want to see to support the restaurants and retail, there probably will most likely be some component of multifamily, but we've also called for reserving a portion of it for some type of for sale product. So, our conceptual plan showed about 350 units total of new housing on that site. I don't really know what the ultimate mix will be. We'll have to see what the development community proposes.
Well, good luck. It's very exciting to see that happening. There's a big article in the Wall Street Journal today about the price of housing not keeping up with inflation, which is shocking. I've been in the business forever.
Right.
That was an interesting fact, particularly now with the interest rate hike, That's getting harder and harder for young couples to buy a house.
Yes.
So multifamily continues to be an integral component of the success, of a city. You really have to have that, and then people will stay there and buy a house as they make more money and so forth. But
yeah, that's what we've seen so far. And, away from downtown, the city's also been focused on the area of Smyrna that actually touches the Chattahoochee River, which is near the 285 South Cobb Drive area. And that area of town's really seen a lot of change over the past 5 years. We've added about 1,000 new housing units down there, some multifamily, but also a lot of townhomes. And that's becoming like a whole new neighborhood down there. There's the all of the new housing at Riverview Landing, but also the city's invested some things with a new splash pad out at Riverline. And the city's been working with the Trust for Public Land on implementing their Riverlands pathway that's going to run essentially from the south part of Atlanta all the way to Beaufort Dam eventually. So it's kind of the new belt line, except that it is not a belt. It runs along the river, Chattahoochee River. So there's really, depending on what you want in Smyrna, completely different areas. There's downtown, there's that Riverview Landing area. Frankly, there's a smaller, older historic neighborhood, Williams Park, which is near our Little Five Points area. And that's also seen a lot of private investment lately that's made a new community gathering space and new restaurants. So I think it's just a matter of, people are looking for something that feels like a neighborhood and not necessarily a municipality. So we have a lot of different opportunities here.
Yeah, and walking is a big part of that whole equation.
Yes, it is.
Walkability. People are really big into that. And by the way, speaking of 285, I have a customer who wants 10 to 100 acres near 285 for corporate headquarters. If you haven't,
I'll let you know if we get some available.
If you have anything like that, it's for a corporate logistics company. But anyway, one of the things that I like that's about the city is the large number of acres of parkland. 340 acres, I think it is, of altogether. And you have most of that, or a good part of that, is near the the market village, right? So do you want to talk a little bit about your parks? Because
Sure.
It's an integral part of the city.
Yes, and our elected officials, that's been a big priority in the past couple of years, is investing in the quality of life that parks bring. You talk about there's a big green space in downtown, but, frankly, we have a lot of other parks in the area. Our Smyrna Little League plays out of Brinkley Park. Again, the city just made a big investment in the Riverline Splash Pad, which is on the south side near the river. Some other areas of town that, well, here's one thing that's been very big for our community. We had a very historically well-used community pool, which not all communities have, at Tolleson Pool. It was about 50 years old, and it needed some serious reinvestment. So currently it's closed for this swimming season, but we're hopeful it will be open for next swim season with some new repairs to it. It's going to have an 8-lane competition pool, a family rec pool, water slide, kids play area. So again, that's a big deal from a reinvestment perspective in our park system. So we also have a great bike park over at Cooper Lake. So those just different kinds of parks for different kinds of uses for everyone in the community.
That's exciting. Now, you have 15 square miles, right? Is that what it is?
Yep, that's about it. Yep.
Do you have any available land right now? How much available land do you have, if any, for building new.
Very little. The economic development story here in Smyrna moving forward is mostly redevelopment. So we have some key commercial corridors that we're focused on redevelopment. We have some property again down near the river that is changing from heavy industry to the mixed use. And so there are several large parcels there that are still available. From a residential real estate perspective, we do have quite a bit of property that abuts the new city of Mableton down in the off of Pebblebrook Drive. So those are the big opportunities here. Actually, the city also purchased the old Emory Hospital site on South Cobb Drive. And we are looking and talking with a couple of recreational type users at that facility. So, but yes, primarily here it is a redevelopment play. There are pockets of green area, but they are quickly being taken up. We just opened a new industrial facility, 100,000 square feet, down near 285. And that was our probably one of the biggest green spots that we had left. Flock Safety has since moved its headquarters into that building, as well as DPR Construction.
Is there any more space there?
It's redevelopment. That's what we got. You know, we're a community that frankly developed primarily in the 60s and 70s, and so again, the opportunity here is primarily a redevelopment play.
Well, that's interesting. I have clients that are looking to expand in that direction too. I need to keep an eye out. Is the available land on your website, or do you post it anywhere?
It is actually. You can search on our website. Just look for search for Smyrna Economic Development, and it will take you right to our site selection tool.
Okay, good. That's good to know, because not everybody's aware of that. I know a lot of companies don't realize that they can get access to that information that readily. But so anyway, what would you say? How would you describe some of the differences in the communities there? You have a wide range of, let's just put it this way, a wide price range, really. And a lot of new homes, a lot of resales that have been remodeled. How would you describe that kind of look at the city in terms of the trend and the scope and the diversity in the residential segment?
You know, it's interesting. The closer you go to the Battery along Spring Road, there's a lot more density. And, you know, that's something the city wants to see. Frankly, that's the place to put some density is over near that area. So we've seen a lot more townhome development there. But then in our historic core, we've seen a lot of reinvestment into, you know, homes that are 50, 60 plus years old that, you know, frankly, 20 years ago in the Williams Park area or Forest Hills is another lovely neighborhood. We had a lot of rental that has since changed to owner occupied, and the owner occupied, they are seriously reinvesting in some really nice homes there. You know, on the south side of the city, there, or south and west probably, are our more affordable units. Again, some of your 60s style ranch homes, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Again, we've seen a lot of reinvestment in that area. From a new perspective, it's primarily infill and smaller neighborhoods, you know, things on less than 12 acres. And again, the market right now has been primarily townhomes for new construction.
Well, the median household income, last time figures are available, is $77,000, and the median age is 35.8, the last survey that was taken. So I can see why you're targeting townhomes. That's a good...
We are becoming younger. It's interesting. Again, I was here in Smyrna 20 years ago. Before I was in Sandy Springs, I was here for a little bit. You know, and back then it was definitely, we were a little bit older. We have since had, you know, the boomers are starting to make their way to smaller housing or downsizing, and that's opened an opportunity for young families to move to Smyrna. And it's been great because we've got some really great schools here. You know, we have Campbell High School with its International Baccalaureate program. We have Osborne High School, which also has the technical school there, the College and Technical Academy, which is one of two, I believe, now here in Cobb County. So a lot of opportunities from a public school perspective. And then we have a lot of great private schools as well in the area. So that's something that's really changed from 20 years ago. You see a lot more young families and you see a lot of young professionals, to your point, that may be renting but are looking for something to buy.
Well, I like what you said about multifamily because a lot of areas have moratoriums on multifamily. Lawrenceville, for example, and even up in Cumming, Georgia, they have moratoriums on multifamily. I'm glad you're open to that because I guess one of the reasons they are doing that is because of the pressure on schools, teachers,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
forth.
Although, you know, honestly, with the new construction that's happening today, most of the new construction in multifamily are, you know, studios, 1 and 2 bedroom units. So they're not generating a whole lot of families. And I would also say that the price point that these developers need to achieve in terms of rent are really pricing families out of the new multifamily. I mean, this is a situation where it's primarily young professionals or folks that are downsizing. So we haven't really seen the huge impact on the school system in terms of the new apartment construction that's been happening.
Yeah, the price of the new multifamily units is outrageous. I mean, it's $2,500 a month and up for a 1 bedroom. And
yes, I have several children.
My God, yeah.
No, and I have several children in that young professionals cohort, and I'm stunned at what they have to pay to rent.
It is
in the metro Atlanta area.
There's no tax deduction either. So
that's right.
One of the things that is really nice and attractive is to the younger families is some of the events that you stage. And won't you just take a minute and describe some of the more interesting events that you have during the year?
Yeah. Our Parks and Rec department is unbelievable at putting on and programming the types of events they do. So some of the events that we've had just this past weekend. Again, I told you about the Cup Days event that's going on for the entire month while FIFA World Cup is going on. But we just had an incredible Juneteenth event, our second annual. That was last Friday night. Great R&B band out there. We have our summer concerts, which occurred in June. We had a great band that played, and we have another great band coming in July. I believe it's the 9th. It's the first Saturday after the holiday. But I'm forgetting, but their Yacht Rock Schooner is going to be playing. So those events, bring a lot of the community out to our downtown. We have other events, in the wintertime, we have what we call the Home for the Holidays event, where they have the big tree lighting and Santa shows up. We have Food Truck Tuesdays, which today's Tuesday. It'll be right here. My office is here at Bronner Hall. It'll be out here on the green this evening. That's every Tuesday during the summer. We also have the Smyrna Handmade Market, which is every Sunday during the season downtown in the Market Village. So just a lot of different events for a lot of different folks, and it's really fun to go. I went to the Juneteenth event last weekend. Incredible! It was a great time. Lots of different folks having a lot of good times.
That really is a critical component of young families, like to take their kids out in a stroller or walk around and just meet other people and be in the company of other people, surrounding other people. And it's a good kind of a cohesive component, element.
And you really don't have, we love to have our events, and we'll have, more events this year and our big birthday event in October. But really, if you come to the Village Green and Market Village any afternoon right now, you will see that we close off the streets down there on the weekends because it's a big park and people are stopping at one of the restaurants downtown, having lunch, maybe bringing a little drink to go and sitting out on the lawn playing with their kids. We've got a new splash pad down there, so kids are splashing around, while the parents are just kind of sitting and enjoying the weather. So it's really just a lot of fun to go out and see the community come out and embrace what the city has invested in.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. And if people would like to get a hold of you with questions or particularly about moving their business or
Yes.
family, how would they reach you anyway?
You can search for me on the website, or you can go call me directly at 678-631-5348. That's my direct line. Or you can send me an email at aworthy@smyrnaga.gov. We'd love to hear from you.
Good. Well, thank you very much. And congratulations on all the really cool things going on over there. I'm sure you're poised for greatness over the next 5 years or more.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrea. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.